Correct.
All right, well, listen, I think we'll get started. Thank you all for coming. This is way more people than I expected, and it feels kind of like a Thanksgiving family and friend get together, which is a wonderful thing to be feeling this Thanksgiving. Um, Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. So this is my new album, Going South. This is an album that has made this year bearable for me. You know, it's enabled me to stay focused on the positive, and really happy with how it turned out. Looking forward to sharing it with you. Um, what did I want to say? Going South, you know, it's been a pretty much of a train wreck of a year. And one of the meanings of going south is how the world seems to be going south. But having said that, the mood of the album is joyous. It's intended to be joyous. And I hope you'll feel that way when you listen to it. What I'm going to do in the next half hour or so is just play bits of each track and talk a little bit about what went into writing them. I think of myself first and foremost as a songwriter, so that seems like the most interesting thing I could talk to you guys about. Before I play anything, though, I want to talk about this band that you're going to be hearing. You know, my job as a songwriter is to dream and to save dreams and hang on to them and figure out how to make them real for other people. And in order to do that, I need to have musicians. And these people I worked with exceeded my expectations in terms of making my dreams real. And I can't tell you all how grateful I am to you guys who are tuning in and those of you who are not. I'm going to list the players again at the end, and they are also on the homepage of my website, tomlerner.com. And I encourage you to check them all out. They're working pros, they're amazing, and they're worth your time, all of them. So they are Mitchell Long on guitar, on cavaquinho, which is this, and Mitchell sang some background vocals too. Hussein Jifri on bass, who also sang some background vocals and who also did a beautiful job mixing the entire album. Lucio Vieira on drums, Kevin Winard on percussion, Robert Kyle on saxophones and flute, and also the indispensable co-producer of this project who helped make it as wonderful as it is in more ways than I can list. Manu Sija from Argentina on violin on one track, the wonderful Teka Penterish on lead vocal, the last track of the tune, and on background vocals elsewhere. The dynamic duo of Gio Ciambatti and Christopher Obracto on background vocals. And my old friend Maurice Gainen did a stellar job mastering the project and helped me at every step of the way with constructive feedback. So thank you all. Words cannot describe. So let's dive into the album. To open it, I decided I wanted to have a kind of tribal chant to summon the spirit of music, the spirit of creativity, to kind of bless the album and make it strong. So I was envisioning a group of, a tribe of indigenous people deep in the Amazon jungle dancing around a campfire and chanting together. And I just wanted it to be singers and percussion. So that's what was in my mind. Let's hear a little bit of how it turned out. Oh, that's not how it turned out. Hang on a second. Here we go. Not loud enough?
It faded down a little bit.
Down?
Bring it up, bring it up. It faded down. Shoot.
Magic spirit, hear the drummers. Magic spirit, rise among us. Magic spirit, hear the drummers. Magic spirit, rise among us. They sing a whole thing, they sing a whole thing. My man coulele vai, my man coulele.
that's a little bit of the flavor of that opening track. And I have to stop here and give a shout out to Kevin Winard, who played percussion on this and drums as well on this track. As I said, I envisioned just voices and percussion, and I gave Kevin the vocal parts and a couple of loops I had off commercial sample CDs, and he just took it and ran with it. He got inspired and put his heart and soul into it and came up with all the percussion parts and drum parts that you heard, thought of them all, performed them all, made it come to life in a beautiful way. So Kevin, thank you, brother. And you may have noticed me chanting some kind of weird stuff during this. This is a few lines in Portuguese, my debut as a singer in Portuguese. At the top of the chat section, if you click on chat, you'll pull up a chat transcript, which will be recorded along with the rest of this. And I put some information that I'll be referring to at various times during this for those who are interested. And one of the things I put is translation of what those Portuguese lines mean, if you care. So the next track is a tune called I Believe in Samba. And samba is, for those of you who don't know, is a very big deal in Brazil. The samba schools, which parade every year during Carnival, are year-round cultural institutions and social networks. And these institutions also attract some of the best talent in Brazil. So there are a lot of samba songs that have been written by songwriters in Brazil, many of whom are affiliated with one or another of these samba schools, that extol the virtues of samba and talk about it as a spiritual force for good. And I've always been impressed by that. And having been to Brazil and seen what the music does for people, I'm a real believer. So I wrote a song in that tradition called I Believe in Samba. So let me play a little of that now. Here we go. The world is going crazy. We're lost and out of control. Everybody wants to know which side you're on. Do you think like me? What do you believe? Well, I believe in samba with all my heart and soul. It brings power to the powerless, riches to the poor, and youth back to the old. Important is the magic that lives in joyful sound. And if you too believe in samba, it will never let you down. So like some of the other tracks on this album, this arrangement picks up steam as the song goes along. So I'm just going to play you a little bit of the end of the song where the whole band and the background singers are all kicking ass. Here's the end of the song. And if you too believe in samba, it will never let you down. I'll sing to you, believe in samba, it will never let you down.
There you go.
Gotta have the mamayas.
It's one of those ones I hate to turn off, you know, it just makes me feel so good every time I hear it.
Oh,
What
man.
a band.
It was either going to be the Baya Bayas or the Esquivel Zoo Zoo Zoos, right?
Oh, Bill. So where are we? Next tune is my homage to Antonio Carlos Jobim, who for me is my absolute favorite songwriter of all time in the whole world, bar none. He's just a master, a genius. His music goes straight to there for me. Um, this is a song called The Feel of You. I'll play a little bit of it.
It's not just how you look, though you look so fine. That explains why you stay on my mind. More than the things that you say or the things you do, it's really the feel of you that keeps me awake late at night. Though the sound of your voice when you call my name is a beautiful sound, all the same. To tell you the simple truth, for me the appeal of you is really the feel of you, the feel of you holding me tight. 'Cause baby, the feel of you, the feel of you just feels right.
So I started work writing this song in a way that has served me well over the years. Some of my favorite songs that I've written, including this one, I started with someone else's song that I was deeply in love with, that inspired the heck out of me, and would sit at the piano and play through it. And then as I play through it, let my individuality express itself and do something with it to make it different. But keep the love that the other song inspired in me, and transplant that into something new. I'll show you what I mean. Like this song was inspired by a Jobim song called Samba do Avião, which means song of the plane, of the airplane. And it's usually played as an up-tempo samba, but I'm going to play it slowly just so you can hear these amazing harmonies he wrote. So his song goes like this. Goes on from there, and I just have always loved that song, and I wanted to steal something from it, you know. So I was playing through it, and I thought, well, what about? I thought, well, that still sounds like his song. What about if I do something different, Mike? And then it started to take off. And all of a sudden, I had a new song. It wasn't plagiarism. It was a new song inspired by his song. And for me, keeping some of the love that I feel for his music. So I just thought I would share that. And I don't always write that way, but it has worked out really well for me for several songs. I'll also mention that the lyric for this, The Feel of You, and what that lyric is about, was also inspired by someone else's song. In this case, it was a wonderful old standard by Hoagy Carmichael called The Nearness of You. Hoagy Carmichael has written some great songs, and there are many, many recordings of this song. If you don't know it, you really should. My personal favorite recording of it is featuring, of all people, singing it James Taylor on a Michael Brecker album called also The Nearness of You. I encourage you to check it out. And by the way, if you check in the, if you click on chat, you'll pull up the chat window and see what everyone's been saying. At the very top of the chat window, I put in, I think I already said this, didn't I? Yeah, I put in a bunch of information and includes some of these songs and recordings that I recommend. I love sharing this stuff, so there you go. So the next song is called A Good Day. And you know, it's wonderful when something good is happening in life and we feel good because of this or that we have to feel good about. For me, though, there's always felt like there's a special magic in those occasional times when we find ourselves feeling great for no apparent reason at all. There's something magical about just being happy to be. And that was a feeling that I wanted to write a song about. Musically, I was inspired by a song by that Sergio Mendes recorded on his album Brasileiro. It's a wonderful song called, what is it called? Samba d'Oro. And it was written by the great songwriter Ivan Lins. Anyway, that's in the information as well. I'm just going to play you my song here now. It's the same place that I wake up to each new day, but I'm seeing it a new way. Something says today is a good day, though I don't know why. There are brighter colors, freshness in the air, and an unfamiliar lightness in my heart. Today I'll face the world that's barking at my door with gladness that I've never felt before. I've got troubles, but I see them from a distance. They don't ruin my existence. In the mood I found, they don't bring me down. You might think that there's a romance or a substance that I'm high on, but you would have it wrong. It's just a good day, and I'm gonna live it all day long. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's a good day. It makes me smile when I hear it. The next song I wrote, next song on the album, I wrote kind of as, it's about what we songwriters do, which is to make songs. And to be a songwriter, you have to be a real lover of songs, duh. And this is a song about how wonderful songs are. And it's called Song of Songs. There are songs that make us dance, songs that make us cry, songs that we remember all our lives. There are songs that give us inspiration, songs we sing in celebration. We sing about our blues, sing about our dreams. Most of all, we sing of love, sweet love. It's like the air we breathe. Truly, I believe life would be all wrong in a world without a song. I have to thank Robert Kyle for helping me finish the song by giving me an encouraging nudge when I was really stuck in it. Thank you, Rob. Where are we now? Next song is about secrets. If you have or have ever had a secret you'd be mortified for everyone to know, welcome to the club. Sometimes it can be liberating, though, to realize that what is totally embarrassing to you might usually turn out to be not very interesting to anybody else. That's what this song is about. The song is called The Secret. I had a secret that I carried around, trying to keep it to myself was bringing me down. It was a secret I was anxious about, thought I would freak if anybody ever found out. I had a secret, seems like a long time ago, 'cause there are no secrets anymore. And though I was scared just to know it was out there, the truth is that nobody cared about my secrets. Yeah, and once again, this is a track where the band is playing so righteously at the end. I just have to play you a little of the outro. The truth is that nobody cares about your secrets. Everybody's got one secret. Yeah. The idea for the song actually came to me from an old interview I read with Wendy Carlos, who is a musician who used to be Walter Carlos. And as Walter Carlos, he made, whatever, a splash back in the 60s with some pioneering synthesizer albums like Switched on Bach and The Well-Tempered Synthesizer. Anyway, in this interview, Wendy was talking about when she went through her transition, how terrified she was of letting people see who she really was. And she turned down a meeting with Stevie Wonder because she was embarrassed to be seen by him. And eventually, she said she realized nobody really cares, if I'm trans or not. So that was the inspiration for writing a song on this subject, for what it's worth. The next song is called A Regular Guy. It's a bolero, which is a Cuban musical style that I've always had a kind of affinity for. So I'll play a little of this. He lived up the street, a few doors away from me. And to the neighbors he seemed like a regular guy. He'd wave and he'd smile when people passed by. Everybody seemed to like him, and he seemed to like them too. Who knew we'd all see his face one day on the evening news, and hear police say that he had been killed at the scene where he pulled a gun
shot 21. It took us completely by surprise, 'cause he always seemed like just a regular guy.
Just a regular guy. People have asked me if this story actually happened to me, and the answer is no, it hasn't. But you know, there are some stories that just occur in the media so often it feels like we've all been through them, even if we haven't, right? One thing I'll mention about this song that I do occasionally in a song, I create a musical mood that instead of reinforcing the lyric, plays off of it or against it. And I like to do that when when the lyric is a story that has a punchline, because the punchline packs more of a wallop if the music's been setting you up by creating a different mood leading up to it. That's something I'll just put out there. The next song is called Back to You, and this is about the one that got away, the lover that we didn't hang on to, who we jump at the chance to get together with again. Cynthia, baby, this is not my personal experience. This is putting myself hypothetically in other people's situations, I promise. Back to you.
I nearly fell in love today. I nearly gave my heart away. Seemed for a moment like a perfect match. But you smiled just the way you used to do in the days when you were mine. So like every other time, something pulled me back to you. Maybe I'm just an amputee, feeling a phantom I can't see, chasing a ghost that I will never catch. But although there is not a lot I know one thing that is true. If you say you still want me, from wherever I may be, I'll come running back to you.
That's great.
Thank you. This is a song where I wrote the music first, and the music told me what the lyrics should be. So this is a song where you start off with the chords being kind of static, staying in one place for a while, and then they kind of jump to somewhere that feels far away and kind of slowly meander their way back to where it started. So I thought about that, and I thought, well, this song should be about going back to someone or to something. And as soon as I had that idea, the lyric just happened very quickly. So I caught a break. Next tune is called Heartbreak 101. It's about the first time we get our heart broken, kind of a rite of passage like losing one's virginity. I originally wrote this as an instrumental piece, as a tango piece for solo piano. And then later I got the idea of writing about first heartbreak as a school lesson. And that gave me the idea for a lyric. So here's a little bit of Heartbreak 101.
You sit there tormented, believing the whole world has ended, and certain that nobody else ever felt like you do. You're learning a lesson. The terrible class is in session. School has begun in Heartbreak 101. Now you say you never will ever be free again like you used to be. You'll never remember in his field. But you'll see one day when your eyes are dry, 'cause you've got no more tears to cry. You'll say to yourself, enough is enough, and start all over. Then soon you'll have mended, though you will never forget it. School will be done for Heartbreak 101.
I was first introduced to tango music from Argentina, and particularly to the amazing music of Astor Piazzolla by my friend Marcelo Berstovoy. Marcelo is a wonderful guitarist from Argentina who played guitar on this track. And for several years, we played tangos together in around LA at gigs, various places, in a band that also included my pal Maurice Gaining on sax and flute. And we had big fun together. Subsequently, I became interested in what was happening with merging tango with electronic music, and I decided I would give it a try for this tune. The violin part, which is amazing, was recorded in Buenos Aires by a very talented musician named Manu Sija. I encourage you to check him out on the internet. So we're getting towards the end of the album here, two more tunes. The next one is called Bring On the Samba, and this is another song which celebrates the positive power of samba, and it's intended to bring the album full circle. So here's a little bit of Bring On the Samba.
We say enough to tragedy and sadness. We say enough to violence and pain. We can chase away nostalgia for at least a little while. We can wipe away our tears and remember how to smile when we bring on the samba. We want to samba. Bring on the band so we can dance till the sun comes up again. Bring the cachaça. We want to sing along with a joyful song till the blues are gone. So bring it on, bring on the samba.
Bring on the samba. There are a fair number of Portuguese words during this tune. If anyone's interested who doesn't know what they are, again, I've posted at the top of the chat what those words mean, so feel free to check them out. The last tune, the bonus track on the album, is a second version of my bossa nova song, The Feel of You, sung by Teca Penterish. As soon as I had written this song, I knew that I just had to hear Teca sing it. Teca is a world-class musician, singer, and guitarist. Every time I hear her, she just instantly makes me feel good without fail. So I wanted her to sing it. I want you to hear it. And Rob Kyle, producer of the album with me, played particularly soulful, tasteful saxophone on this. And I hate to not play his whole solo, but I encourage you to check it out. So here's Teca and Rob doing The Feel of You.
It's not just how you look, though you look so fine. That explains why you stay on my mind. More than the things that you say or the things you do, it's really the feel of you that keeps me awake late at night. Though the sound of your voice when you you call my name is a beautiful sound, all the same. To tell you the simple truth, for me the appeal of you is really the feel of you, the feel of you holding me tight. 'Cause baby, the feel of you, the feel of you just feels right.
I'm sorry, Rob. Yeah, Tekka. Yeah, Rob. Just so beautiful. So beautiful. So that's the album. I hope it brings you a little
Bravo.
joy.
Bravo,
Thank
bravo,
you.
bravo,
Thank
bravo.
you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope it brings you a little joy as we lurch to the end of 2020. You can find it now. It's the album's out, so it's on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, et cetera, et cetera. And I've posted all my links at the top of the chat if you're interested. Once again, I want to thank the band. Mitchell Long on guitar, Cavaquinho on background vocals, Hussein Jifri on bass and mixing the album, Lucio Vieira on drums, Kevin Winard on percussion, Robert Kyle, saxophones and flute and co-producer extraordinaire, Marcelo Berstovoy on additional guitars, Manu Sija on violin, Tekka on the lead vocal you just heard and on background vocals elsewhere, Gia Chambati, Christopher Obracto on additional background vocals, and mastering and wise guidance all through by Maurice Gainan.
Angela
Have a
did the
great Thanksgiving.
Angela's here. She did the graphics.
Thank you, Angela. Beautiful job on the graphics. Thank you for that. So yeah, have a great Thanksgiving. Keep a song in your heart and have a wonderful evening. I look forward to corresponding with you guys down the line. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bravo.
All right. Thank you.